Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, medical auditor, educator, speaker, writer, content creator, and just general enthusiast about medical coding. On my channel, I discuss all kinds of topics related to medical coding, auditing, compliance, healthcare, documentation, and just helpful tips and tricks for those looking to get certified as well. Today, I want to discuss the truth about earning six figures in medical coding. But first, I want to address that you may have noticed that my hair has changed a slightly different color. I had heard that we are now, because of COVID-19, at the stage in quarantine where everyone's roots are starting to show, and it is the box dye phase of the quarantine. And I'm not usually someone who dyes my hair, but I wanted to just kind of get in on the fun. And I'd always wanted to dye my hair rose gold, so I thought I'd just give it a go. And actually, I really like the way it turned out. I think it looks pretty funky, but not too dramatic, which is very important. And also today, I mentioned before about how I have my oil burner here for my essential oils. I just got a new pack because I've been doing like everyone and just being like, I'm in quarantine. I'm not going to care too much about staying on a diet, and it's definitely starting to show. So I'm going to get back on track on Monday. And in the meantime, what I did was I got myself some fragrance scents that smell like bakery goods. So right now I am enjoying some chocolate chip cookie oil in the diffuser, which will hopefully not increase my desire to eat chocolate chip cookies. Anyway, let's get back to six figures in medical coding. The concept of earning six figures is not exclusive to medical coding or healthcare or anything close to that. In fact, if you even just go on Amazon and search six figures, what'll come up is all kinds of ebooks about six figures in gaming, six figures in blogging, six figures in real estate, six figures for women, six figures for men, six figures from home, all kinds of different six-figure books. There's a pretty prominent book that came out way back in 2009, so 11 years ago, called Secrets of Six-Figure Women. So that concept of earning six figures has been around for a while in all various industries. Let's address this first from just a mathematical standpoint. If you look at the AAPC salary survey, the average salary for a medical coder in the United States is $57,201 a year, which is equal to $27.50 an hour. So if you wanted to just work overtime and hit six figures, if you take that $27.50 times 1.5, which would be your overtime, on overtime pay you would make $41.25 on average. If you take that goal of six figures and subtract out the base salary of $57,201, that means you need to somehow make an extra $42,799 a year to hit six figures. So at an overtime rate then, at $41.25, that would mean that you would have to work an extra 19.95, essentially 20 hours a week, every single week for a year in order to hit six figures on an average coder salary. So essentially a 60-hour work week every week for 52 weeks. You'd have to be working every Saturday, every Sunday, and then a 4-hour shift in the evening as well. What the hell fun is it making six figures if you have to work 60 hours a week to do it? So in order to make $100,000 a year or six figures, you would have to be making at least $48.08 an hour, assuming that you're only working 40 hours a week. I'm going to be honest, I know coding directors at very large institutions that aren't making six figures. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. I'm sure there's coders in New York City or San Francisco that are getting paid significantly more than average, but their cost of living is also much higher. There are types of codings that do pay more, like inpatient DRG validation or interventional radiology. So some of those specialties could potentially earn six figures depending on how much you want to work and in what areas. Honestly, my personal opinion, I just don't think it's likely that you're going to earn six figures in medical coding only working the normal like 40 to 45 hour work week. So it is possible if you're looking to either work two jobs or work a ton of overtime, or maybe if you want to get a side hustle. A lot of people these days have side hustles to help supplement their income, and you hear all kinds of great inventive ways that people are earning money in addition to their day jobs. I actually work full-time as an auditor, and my education business and content creation and blogs are all currently my side hustle. Now, one day I would like to eventually maybe make them a full-time position, but there's a lot that goes into that you might not think about if you're looking to go out on your own. So I have to pay part-time liability insurance. I have to pay for learning management systems, editing software, webcams, cameras, all kinds of stuff. And I have to invest a lot of time on learning how to do some of that myself. But one of the cool things about being in the medical coding field is since there are so many remote positions, sometimes you can find remote or part-time work for maybe someone that just wants a couple hours a week for someone to work their old AR or do a couple of chart audits or work some of their appeals. So that's something that you can do. If you have maybe an independent position in your area that you have a relationship with, you can just work for them a little bit on the weekend for some additional money, or you could take a part-time remote position, maybe doing some auditing or chart reviews or denials or what have you. But just remember, if you're doing any kind of independent contract work, that you need to make sure that you have professional liability, or what's sometimes referred to as errors and omissions insurance, to cover yourself. So because there's so many exams that you need to pass to become a certified medical coder, there's a lot of need now for tutors and coaches. Some of these people that aren't passing on the first or second try, after that, they start looking for someone to kind of help them through a little bit. So that is a great side hustle you could look into, is if you could serve as a tutor or a coach, even if it's just maybe coders in your area or at your local chapter, or you can offer those services online, remote, through various remote video capable conferencing systems like Zoom or Adobe Connect. And if you're really good at tutoring, maybe you can move into teaching and actually start teaching at a technical school or independently. Or you could just, if you're in have a really good specialty experience, you could niche down and do some specialty webinars, put those up for sale, or partner with certain webinar providers to host webinars for them as well. Something to keep in mind, though, is that if you are going to independently teach classes, like you're going to say, I'm going to teach my own independent medical coding class, you cannot take other people's materials because those are copyrighted. And I'm actually going to do a whole nother video eventually about what it takes to become a certified medical coding instructor through the AAPC, what that process is, and the difference between being an approved instructor and having a license to teach medical coding curriculum. A fun medical coding kind of related side hustle would be to create merchandise. Now, I know that sounds maybe a little bit cumbersome because you might think, oh, well, I'm not crafty, I can't really make things. But there's a lot of cool resources you can use online that almost do all of the work for you, that you don't even need to have the materials to ship them out. That if you can think of even just a funny t-shirt or slogan, you can go on canva.com and design a t-shirt for free, and they're very plug and play. So you can adjust the icons, adjust what the text is, and then download it, and you can upload it to a website like teespring.com, where they can have you build a store and just make the t-shirts and ship them out on demand. So you don't have any merchandise to handle, but you could make, as a couple dollars for each t-shirt you sell if you have a really funny, saying or something that you can think of to put on. I've even seen people selling really cute medical coding pins and coffee mugs, and there's lots of cool ways that you can design those online. I'm not going to get into it. Maybe check some other channels on YouTube on how to just generally do merchandise, but there's a lot of cool ways, even through Amazon merch, that you can develop things online and sell them without having to personally handle all the inventory and sales. And as much as I love medical coding, I also love content creation. I love doing blogs and videos and graphics and just all kinds of cool stuff. And some of them do help drive then the sales of my online courses that I sell as well. And if you're interested in any of those, definitely check out the links below for information on some of the courses that I currently have available on medical coding. You could also do some paid public speaking on the side if you want to talk about, some really niche down specialty stuff, some really intense workshops where you're doing hands-on activities or covering career advice or resumes for medical coders. I would just discourage anyone from doing anything that's basically inspo garbage, where all you're doing is just motivational speaking that really doesn't have any action items that can provide true value for those medical coders that are really needing help. What I mean by that is, for example, there were some really popular books that came out a while ago. Chicken Soup for the Soul, Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, Chicken Soup for blah, 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 blah. So if you were basically to take that same concept, rip it over and go, I'm going to make chicken soup for the coder soul. Aren't I so original? No, you're not. You just ripped off someone else's idea and modified it and put the word medical coder in there. So don't just rip people's crap off. If you're creating content and trying to sell it to someone else, you really need to make original content. And I know that's a huge time consumption, but that is really what adds the value to it, is that it is something new and something worthwhile for people to spend their money on. Be authentic, but not crazy, says the girl wearing the funky jacket and the rose gold hair. So is it possible to make 6 figures in medical coding? Yes, absolutely. There is a small amount of medical coders that if they really work at it, really hustle, really get those specialty information, become experts in their field, yeah, you can make 6 figures in medical coding. Most people, though, are not going to make 6 figures. It's not a career move that you typically make with the intent to get 6 figures. It's not a common 6-figure income position. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And like I always say, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss another helpful episode. I will see you in the next episode. And until then, just keep on coding on.